What makes a trend? Now that's a very important question, because trends these days, they're everywhere. Anything can become a trend, unfortunately, including consuming very dangerous substances, which is not recommended, but people do it anyway, because it's trendy. So, what makes a trend? Well, there's two parts, at least. Both relate to survival. The first one is laziness. Yes, laziness. Aren't we all lazy sometimes? Well, some people are more lazy than others. So, where does that come from? Conserving energy. That's it. If an individual back in the past, a long time ago, was lazy, they would conserve energy in the present moment, because in the future, something dangerous and threatening might occur. So it's better to be prepared, better to have some energy for that moment. But if an individual is too lazy all the time, then they're not going to be very well prepared in other ways for the future. They're not going to have the right resources and tools, things like that. And this is where the other thing comes in. Boredom. When an individual gets bored of doing the same thing over and over again, they'll try something new. They'll go and explore the outside, go look around the corner, see what's there, and then they are better prepared. So those two feelings created by the body or the subconscious, they're very useful for survival. And we are still stuck with them. And sometimes being lazy is not the right thing to do. Sometimes being bored is not the right thing to do. Sometimes we need to stick to something and to see it through. And getting bored midway through, maybe not the best thing. Nonetheless, what does this have to do with trends? That's the question of the day. Well, let's imagine a trend. What is it? Well, some people start doing something. Let's say it's not eating something dangerous. Let's say it's a dance. Okay? Some people try a new dance, and then no one else picks it up. And what do we get? We get this kind of a blip, where someone tries something new, very few people try it, and then it just goes out. So just a little blip. That's the trend line for this particular dance. Let's say someone tries a different dance, and it's more compelling for some reason. Well, some people try it, and then the information spreads from around a dozen people to 100 people, and they also try it and like it, and then it spreads from 100 people to about 1,000 people, and they like it, and so on. So this thing now becomes a trend, and it grows exponentially. Now eventually, this growth ends. It reaches a saturation point, so it stagnates, and eventually, just like all things that go up, everything must come down again, and then it goes out, and no one's dancing this dance anymore. So why did that happen? Well, in the beginning, some people were curious. Why? To try a new thing. Why? Because they got bored. They got bored of the things that already existed, so they tried a new thing. And then maybe other people were also bored at the same time, but more likely is that people were lazy. This is what happens all around human society. Some people are doing something, and others look at that and go, seems to be popular, I'll do that too. Why? Well, because that's the easy option. You don't need to do the hard work of figuring something out, creating a new thing, making decisions, planning things. Someone did that work for you, and they're showing the result, so why not mimic the result? And that's what people do, due to laziness. And as such, due to boredom and laziness, a trend starts. Now then it plateaus, and that also has to do with these two feelings. Because some people get bored of this trend quicker than others, they drop out individually, but eventually most people will get bored of it, and then it goes out. And that also goes hand in hand with laziness, because if most people are not iterating on that idea, they're lazy, they're just copying, they're not creating new variations, then the expressive power of this dance, in this case, is limited. And people will get bored of it even quicker. So the only way for something to really, truly go on for a long time is if it branches out into different variations that are less boring. And then the trend can go on for a long time. But eventually even that will come down, as everything does. And then when this particular trend goes out, some other trend is going to take its place. So there's going to be this infinite cycle of things going up and down, and when the previous one is going down, a new one is going to rise up in its place. That's how it goes. Pretty simple. So those are the two feelings that are affecting the growth and downfall of trends: laziness and boredom. So keep that in mind. The next time you see something trending, stop yourself from simply mimicking it and think for yourself, do I really want to spend that time? Or would I rather do something else? Am I going to be trying to create a new trend, really thinking about something, really working on something and seeing if it works or not? Or am I just going to follow others? That is your decision to make. So make it. And remember, stay civilized.